and then a really fun activity. Yes, thank you. I always forget. And a quick activity for our fun friends. Any questions? I've got the chat before we jump in.
Before we get too far in, for anyone that is new or this is their first time, we'll go ahead and introduce some of our leadership. My name is Liz, and I am the current president for this year. So if you have any questions or concerns, please always feel free to reach out to anyone on our leadership team. A lot of our other leadership team members have their cameras on, so y'all go ahead and give a wave. And we'll have Rachel and Kayla introduce themselves as well, as they'll be speaking to some of the slides throughout the night.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. It's always so hard to tell. So I'm Kayla. I am a senior in biomedical engineering. I'm the vice president of undergraduate affairs. As Rachel said, please reach out if you have any questions, comments, concerns. Always on Slack, email us, ask now. But yeah, glad to have you guys here.
Yes, thank you, Kayla. And for Liz for reminding me, I always forget. I just get chatty and I don't introduce myself. My name is Rachel. If you haven't gotten a chance to meet me, I am the vice president of graduate affairs. I'm also a +1 student in the 4+1, so I'm a graduate student in electrical engineering, which is weird for me to say. But yeah, so that's me. Hello. Thank you so much for coming again. Like the other girls mentioned, if you have questions throughout, feel free to send them in the chat. You can either send them to everyone or DM us personally. You can also find us afterward. There's also a feedback form at the very end. If you have questions, you don't really want to DM us about it, or maybe want to ask anonymously, the feedback form allows you to do that as well. So you can ask us questions in there without your name on it, if that's of interest to you, and we'll make sure to post the answers of that in Slack. So lots of options. But otherwise, we're gonna jump into it with our first topic, which is our lovely friends from SWE Phoenix and the scholarships. Liz will tell us a little bit about that.
So we actually have our representative, Natasha, here from SWE Phoenix. And so she's going to speak to some of these scholarships. But before she does, please don't sleep on this opportunity. For lack of a better way to say it, these things have helped put many of our girls through college. SWE Phoenix is a great advocate and a huge sponsor for our section and for helping out a variety of our members. So definitely keep an eye out for these and keep track of that deadline so you can get your scholarship in.
Yeah, thank you. So I'll go ahead and just do a quick plug for the scholarship. So basically this round of scholarships, it's very similar to the fall round of scholarships we did, if you guys saw that, but this one is for freshmen, sophomores, and juniors. So to be eligible, you just have to be an undergrad at ASU in one of those years, and then also be a registered member of SWE. As far as the application process, the deadline is March 31st at midnight, and you'll be required to submit an essay, a resume, and a transcript. Instead of emailing applications to the awards at swephoenix.com email, we have a Google form, which is listed on the SWE, or is listed on the flyer on the screen. So yeah, there'll be sort of like a range of scholarships awarded based on achievement and the number of applicants. So yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them now, or you can contact me at awards@swephoenix.com.
One of the questions that was mentioned in the chat is, do you need a Fafsa for the scholarship?
No, it's entirely just merit-based. So we only look at the 3 things you submit.
Okay, thank you.
Natasha, would you be willing to share a few tips from successful applications that you've seen, or maybe a few items to emphasize in the essay or that SWE Phoenix is specifically looking for?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think as far as the essay, I think we really like to see you outline how your experience in SWE as a collegiate has impacted your college experience, whether that's in big ways or small ways. Additionally, as far as, in terms of looking at your resume, and I guess also the essay, be sure to highlight any leadership opportunities that you've had throughout college or even before then. That's something we always like to see. And then also, make sure you highlight sort of your specific interests. Like obviously we all have our majors, but if you've gotten really involved in research or, a certain industry, no matter how you've done that, make sure to highlight that as well. You really want to highlight, I think, your individuality in your application, just so we can hopefully see how you stand out.
I have a quick question.
Mhm.
For anybody that is going into like a new or maybe even like a different like internship next summer, is that something worth putting on a resume if we haven't started it yet?
I think it's totally up to you. I mean, I think it'd be great in terms of just, showing that you're proactive and like showing your potential interest, especially if, in the essay, SWE was maybe an important part about you either being ready for that internship or helping you get that internship. I know one of my internships in college that became my current full-time job is I got it through a SWE event. So that if that's an important part of, I think, your like the story you want to tell in your application, I think it's absolutely something you can include.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions for Natasha? Okay. Well, you can put them in the chat if they come up, but thank you so much for coming and talking a little bit about that. This little graphic is under the general channel, and it'll be included obviously in the slides, and those will be posted on our meeting recap Slack channel. So if you're looking for this kind of graphic again, that's you'll be able to find it.
Thank you so much for letting me plug the scholarship in this meeting. But yeah, I look forward to reading your applications. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, so this is eligible freshmen, sophomores, juniors, specifically for our undergrad friends. Thank you so much. With that, we'll go on. Really quick, I wanted to plug our Slack if you're already not in there, newsletter, of course. The biggest thing here that I want to point out is our Instagram. That's going to be a huge part of our night later tonight as like a little sneak peek if you're interested. So please make sure you're following our platforms. Soma is taking over getting some more information on our Instagram and that kind of thing is a new part of her position. So we're going to be getting a lot more active on social media. So if you have any recommendations or something you'd like to see, please be sure to let us know. Again, in literally any form you'd like, pick your favorite way of communicating with us, that works. And just tell us what you're interested to see. But otherwise, if you're not already following us, give us a follow because it'll be a big part of our night later tonight. And then of course we have our new members. If you're new here, welcome. We're so happy to have you. Be sure to check out our website. We have a new members tab that has like everything you could possibly need and more. And of course, Claire, our secretary's information is on there. If you have questions, that's something on that. Her information is listed there, but you're also welcome to reach out to us in any capacity. And then our last Slack channels that we're still plugging is our LinkedIn channel. If you want to connect with all your speakers, everyone is sending in their LinkedIn, the Insta username. It's SWEASU, @SWEASU. Thanks, Liz, for sending it in. Yes, my apologies. It's linked in the slides, but yes, it's @SWEASU. So for our LinkedIn channel, feel free to send in your LinkedIn in that Slack channel and then connect with everyone above. It helps kind of make your SWE network on LinkedIn if that's something that you're kind of getting invested in, as well as just SWEster social media. That's a little bit more of a fun page if you want to find your friends on Instagram or Facebook. But otherwise, we'll move into the calendar. Kayla's going to show us a little bit of what's coming up in some of our updates to the resume.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Rachel. So upcoming events, you can always find them on our calendar. We have it's like 3 different formats of our calendar. It's the Google Calendar, our slides calendar format, or like our Excel spreadsheet. So check them all out. Here's our slides one. It's beautiful and color coded and linked with the Zoom links as well. So this is the one for this upcoming month, March. As you can see, we have a good amount coming up. Of course, you're not required to attend all of these. These are just there to cater to different interests among our SWEsters. But yeah, definitely check them out. And you can find the calendar most easily is probably through our website. It's all linked there. But I have it hooked up to my Google Calendar, and I like that. Also, Zoom links are also linked up to our Slack as well. So plenty of ways to find them. And if you ever need help, please just reach out and we can send them over to you. And sorry, I know Annika was also going to speak, but her computer just died. So she'll be back on in just a second, but let me get started anyways. So these are the requirements for the resume bank. If you recall from last GBM, if you were there, that active member requirements have changed to this now new verbiage of requirements for the resume bank. So same thing, just different verbiage. So they're just listed out here what the requirements actually are. So it's going to be one GBM and then any two of those events. So either a professional development event, a workshop, a graduate workshop, or just another GBM. And then you also must be registered through SWE headquarters. You can either do like the annual membership, or you can do, it's like college to career, C2C, which is probably the most economical version of it. That's what I did. It's a pretty darn good price, and it lasts all your college years and then 1 year of your professional life, I'll say. Also must be registered on Sun Devil Sync. That's really straightforward. Just go to Sun Devil Sync and then like ask to join the organization. And then finally is the outreach contribution that was added this semester. And we can, I think with the next slide, we'll get a little bit more into that as well. All right, so the outreach contribution. So there's basically two formats. Sorry, I was reading the messaging. So there's basically two things that need to be done for it. So there's the tutoring initiative, and then there's the Gear Day contribution. So for the tutoring initiative, it's either to record one video or edit 3 videos. So you can see that basically anything in that underlying teal color is linked. So when these slides are posted to the Slack channel, you can all click on these. Those links give you YouTube videos of how to do this. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward. You either record one video, and Annika goes over really well on how to do this, or edit 3. It's editing more because editing doesn't take as much time as recording. The second contribution for outreach is the
Hey,
Gear.
Kayla, I'm so sorry. I'm going to interrupt you because Annika's back online.
Yeah.
Wanted to take over.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries at all. Annika, we see that you're back up. Are you good to talk about the outreach requirements?
Yeah, sorry. My
No, you're
computer
fine.
decided to restart in the middle of the meeting. So
I had that happen.
very
No worries.
stressful. So yeah, as Kayla mentioned, that the tutoring initiative, if you record 1 video or edit 3, there should be, I will resend it out after the meeting, but there is a Google form that was sent out that you just put your information in, and then it will let me know that you want to record and edit a video. And then for the Gear Day contribution, in the coming weeks, we will be sending out some forms where you can sign up to volunteer for assembling the kits that we're going to be giving out to schools. So for Gear Day, we're going to be doing it virtual this year. We're going to be meeting with the schools, sending out kits, and then we're going to have videos and instructions that the kids can then follow the video and do the kits themselves. We will also be hosting on April 10th is what we decided, for Zoom town halls, where if people have questions about the kits, that they can then come in, and it'll be a Q&A session. So you can sign up for times to answer questions if kids come in. You can sign up to help deliver the kits to the schools. More information will be coming out about that. Or you can sign up to help assemble the kits, so then we can go and distribute them. We will be sending out more information about this, because some of them, for example, like the Zoom town halls are in 2-hour shifts. So you need to do 2 of them. So total in terms of outreach contribution, 4 hours of work, quote unquote, which means if it doesn't take 4 hours, it's fine. But we'll mark what's 4 hours and what's 2 hours. And then, and you just have to sign up for 4 hours of work to meet the requirements for the resume bank. Is there any questions? Sorry, that was kind of a lot.
I have One clarifying question that I had gotten. So for the Gear Day preferences form that was sent out earlier, it talks about having like a single kit or multiple kits. Can you talk to what the difference between like being interested in wanting one kit versus multiple kits would look like?
Yeah, so multiple kits would be like if a teacher receives the form, if they want multiple kits to like for like take home. So like they can distribute them in their classrooms and then the kids can take them home and do it on their own. Um and sorry, for one kit would be like a demo. So if the teacher just wanted to do a demonstration with one of the kits, then they can request one and then they can like do a demonstration or like show the video to the class. So that would be the difference. And then I saw a question in the chat. You only need to do either the tutoring initiative or Gear Day. However, the Gear Day spots are going to be limited because we only need so many volunteers. So just keep that in mind. Any other questions?
I'll put Monica's Slack handle in the chat if you have a question, like either directly related to something personal or whatever, and you just want to take it offline, you can always Slack her as well. Any other questions? Okay. Otherwise, we move forward. Onward. Yay. Okay, so now we're getting into kind of the meat of it. Our conference chair form is now open. Yay. The conference chair is kind of conference committee chair is the full name. This person is responsible for planning and executing the attendance of a Sweet ASU group at the Wii 21 conference. So for those of you that have been around for a while, every year we take a group of girls to our international Wii conference, and this is put on through Sweet headquarters. There are hundreds and hundreds of people, thousands that come out to this conference. We've been in attendance for the last like 5-ish years, I want to say. This past year, it was moved to virtual in November. We were supposed to be going to Louisiana. This next year, it's supposed to be in Indianapolis. We'll see kind of what happens with that, but they're still planning for now to be in person. So the conference chair would be the person that is the primary, their primary responsibility is coordinating a group attendance. So working with the president to determine kind of funding, how we're going to get there, how many people we can take, registration, everything that has to do with it. You do have a committee that's going to kind of help you with this, but you are the lead point of contact. Another fun fact about this position, it's actually the only position available that we do via calendar year, not school year, because the conference every year is at the very beginning of November or the very end of October. Typically, it's in that kind of range somewhere in there. And so if we were to try to have someone begin working on it in August, we would just be cutting it way too close. We book flights usually sometimes in May, if not even earlier. So if flights are needed, we've also taken buses before, but that kind of thing. So this is the only position where that's the case. This role also is selected. It's not part of our election process. You would fill out the form. Yes, Catherine Chamber, I'm so sorry. I'm literally rambling on. Catherine's also going to tell us a little bit more about like her experience. Catherine has been our chair for the past 2 years. She's here. She's going to go a little more in detail, but the form is here. It closes on the 4th. I'm too chatty. Catherine, anything you want to add? If she's still able. I know she was, I don't know if it'll come through.
Yeah.
We were struggling earlier, so I don't know.
She's on a road trip right now, so I think
I know.
her reception's kind of cutting out.
Okay, that's okay. Kat is here. Oh, you're all good, Catherine. She is here. I also have, if you click on the form and you open it up, all of Catherine's contact information is in there, so you can reach out with her. To her, she was our chair for the past 2 years. She is seriously amazing, a dynamite. Yes, you can also message her now in the Zoom chat if you'd like. Her reception just isn't very good. But my last kind of comment was this role is selected, not elected. So it's not part of our election process. You'll fill out the form and the executive council for this year will vote on someone. So that's how the process works for this position. The form closes on 3/4. Yes, Catherine's note is super important. It is a lot of work, but it is really rewarding. The amount that I'm sure Catherine has taken away in terms of like planning skills is ridiculous. You're coordinating a large group of women, which is no small task, but it also speaks to your dedication and your organization in so many ways. So a lot of work, a lot of reward is kind of the game here. And if it means anything, you're done by November. So if this is a position where you're more interested in kind of an upfront time commitment where your work would be done mainly over summer and in the beginning months, that's also kind of a bonus if that works for your timeline a little better. So any questions anybody has about conference chair or how that all works, the form is linked here. You can also ask in the chat. Kat's here. She'd be happy to answer more questions. Or you can reach her offline. Okay. You can also interrupt at any time.
I actually do have a question. Is there like a broad overview about like examples of like what you would do if as conference chair?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. So the biggest thing is selecting the students that will go. So that takes place this spring semester is working on how do you want to go about selecting and the number of students, what kind of funding is required to send 30 students to whatever location is for the conference that year. So I think this year is Indianapolis, if it actually happens in person. So there's a lot of like cost analysis involved with that. And then from there, just a lot of like ordering things. You're booking hotels, you're booking flights, you're ordering t-shirts, you're doing a lot of just like scheduling and managing of like a calendar and those types of skills. So your flights, funding is the biggest part. Funding is the hardest part, the biggest part, and getting everyone's registration and or hotels paid for. There's a lot of turning pieces involved with those kind of activities.
Okay, that's really helpful. Thank you.
And just to add to that too, the thing that I really like about the conference chair position, it gives you the opportunity to work with a lot of the leadership team. So you have to work with industry relations to help coordinate if we can include sponsorship specifically for a conference into our sponsorship package. You'll work with professional development teams to start get to events ready for conference prep. So there's a lot of other moving parts where you connect with a lot of the leadership. So Catherine's kind of had her hands in a variety of different positions and helped them to help with the conference.
Definitely. Yeah, and Cassidy's note, you definitely work a ton with treasurer, as Catherine and Cassidy both mentioned.
Cassidy was my best friend. Love her.
You get really tight with the treasurer. You guys get to become BFFs, and Cassidy's great. And PR, exactly, to get the word out. So yeah, the position is a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, but a lot of fun. So we hope you'll consider. If you have any other questions, feel free to interrupt me now. Otherwise, you can also reach Catherine if you just want a little more detail or any kind of examples or anything else. Okay. Anything else before I move on? All right, let's do it. Yay, elections.
Woohoo! So as a slight transition, one of the questions that I was hoping someone would ask, but it's totally okay, is why is the chair in a position that is like by the calendar year, and why are they not going through the election process that we're about to outline? And so everything that is going to be outlined in these next couple of slides is specifically for our executive council. So our executive council are the members and the positions that I'm going to show in just a minute, but any of the chair or officer or committee member positions that make up our leadership, as we like to refer to it, as a whole, are elected through the process that's basically they express their interests, and then the executive council appoints people and where they feel like the skills are best suited or based on their interest. So that's kind of one of the reasons that the chair position happens by calendar year for our conference specifically, and that's why the chairs and officers are not currently a part of this election process. So if you're interested in a chair or officer position and are looking for that slightly lower time commitment every week, but you want to be involved in leadership, all of that election will happen when we return in the fall semester. So if we move to the next slide, everything that's going to be happening for the, oh, I think you skipped one. Maybe they didn't update. There we go. Okay, so everything in terms of executive council is going to be here. So Kayla, Rachel, and I tried to create one centralized location for all of this information because I'm so sorry, y'all. I know it's a lot, and I know our election process is 64 days long, and that's a lot to go through. So we wanted to have one centralized location. So the slides are linked here. It's the big blue link at the top. It's what's been sent out. It's what I've been bugging y'all about. And so it's going to cover everything that you need to know with FAQs and the timelines, etc. So if we jump to the next slide, just highlighting some of the key points that are in the hub, these are all of the positions that are going to be available. It is slightly different from this year's Executive Council. So this year's Executive Council and leadership provided input, and Executive Council was able to kind of provide their opinions for what needed to be updated and included. So these are the positions that are available. The Sweet ASU section bar at the top breaks into two golden sections. Those are kind of to represent that we do have two Fulton student organizations. However, we have one section. So that's an important thing to note. So everyone that is in the dark gray will serve on both the undergraduate Fulton student org and the graduate Fulton student org. And then the directors of undergraduate engagement and graduate engagement will serve respectively for that Fulton student organization. And same with the vice presidents, they'll serve for that respective undergrad graduate Fulton student organization. So these are all the positions that are available. All of the weekly commitment and weekly responsibilities and expectations for each of these positions are broken out in the slides during or inside the election hub. So that's kind of all the positions, but before we can get to electing those positions, we need the nominating committee. And so the nominating committee is a crucial part of the society's election process, and they're going to work to develop a slate, and they'll talk to members that they think would be qualified, and they'll also use the self-interest form that has been live to go through all of this information and to help guide everything and make, they'll basically be responsible for helping to see, okay, I see that this is the responsibilities that you want and these are the skills that you show, these are the positions you're interested in, is that compatible? If it's not, might we suggest an alternative, and really make sure that the section has a really good slate going forward. And so the interest form for the slate for nominating committee, which I cannot stress how crucial nominating committee is. So if you are not interested in running for a position on executive council, please consider serving on nominating committee. Do note that if you serve on nominating committee, you cannot become a member of the election, or you cannot become a candidate on any of the steps in the process for the election at any point, and that includes a write-in. So you are basically forfeiting, saying, I'm not interested in serving on executive council, but I would really be interested in helping to make executive council for next year. So that interest form is due tomorrow at 11:59. You do not have to be a senior. You don't have to have been here for a few years. We just want your interest in SWEET, and we want you to be interested in making a really good and great executive council for next year. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. We have a variety of leadership members that would be happy to talk to you about nominating committee. So I know that's a lot of information, but the next slide is going to go into the candidacy interest form. So if you are actually interested in serving on executive council, we would absolutely love to have you. And that's everything that's detailed here on the next slide.
Really quick, we had one question in the chat about nominating. Yes, seniors can participate. You just don't have to be a senior. It's really common for seniors to want to do this because they are graduating, so they have no interest or desire because they're not going to be here. They're graduating. But we were just saying you don't have to be a senior. If you are a freshman and you just want to be involved, you want to kind of step your toe in and be involved in this, but you're not really looking to be on the executive council yet, please join. That was the only note there. It's popular for seniors, but you're not required to be a senior. But yes, you can be. It was long-winded. Anyways, I think we got all the questions though. So yes, Liz, candidacy.
Okay, cool. So if you are interested in serving on one of the positions that was shown 2 slides ago, then you're going to need to fill out this interest form. Please keep in mind that the questions there are really just meant to probe you and kind of get you thinking about what you want out of being on the executive council to help kind of figure out which positions you want. They don't need to be really long responses by any means. We're not looking for full-blown essays. Nomcom doesn't want to read full-blown essays for each of the positions. So keep them short, keep them sweet, but share as much information as you think you need for each of the questions. And if you have any questions at all, I know that I'm available through my DMs, all of leadership, which we've put our positions in as our Zoom names if you have any questions. So I know Rachel, her DMs are always open. Kayla, all of the rest of our executive council and our leadership team is more than happy to answer questions. So if you're not sure what it looks like to be in the presidential role and you want to get my perspective on it, message me. Same with any of the other positions. You don't have to have prior experience. You don't have to have served on SWE leadership. You don't have to have been a committee member. We are really looking for anyone that has a fuel and a fire for standing for our mission statement and really advocating for SWE and progressing SWE at ASU specifically. So kind of think about that. The interest form is coming up quickly, so it's due February 22nd at 11:59 p.m. Any questions on NomCom or the candidacy?
Can I add something real
Yeah.
quick? So just to note that there are going to be 2 outreach positions that are going to be elected. So if you want to know like the difference between them, I know Liz and I and other people as well helped kind of differentiate between the 2. So I'm happy to discuss what the difference is going to be, just so then it's you kind of know what you're getting into. So
yes, that's a great point. Thank you so much, Annika. Okay, one last important highlight from all of the election information is that in order to participate in any capacity in the election process, which includes serving on nominating committee, running for candidacy, and voting, you have to be a paid member through SWE headquarters. So there's some instructions here and on the website. If you have any questions or any problems, or you're not sure if you're paid or not paid, please reach out. I'm happy to walk you through it. Any of the other leadership members are happy to walk you through it, but do make sure that is done as soon as possible so that you don't miss any steps in the election process. But there's a lot more information in the hub, including how to petition, what the steps look like in between, the full election timeline, frequently asked questions. If there is anything that is missing though, please feel free to reach out, because if you have that question, there is a 10 out of 10 chance that somebody else in the section has that question. So please don't be shy about asking. And with that, that is all the election information, if anyone doesn't have any questions. I know it's a lot. I'm so sorry. I feel like I'm talking a bunch, but it is one of the most crucial parts of our section, and ensuring that it is done correctly helps keep our status with society at headquarters level. So it's very important that everyone is on the same page. Okay, woohoo! I hope you run. If you have any questions at all or need a hype, I know I've had a couple girls that are coming to me and they're like, I'm not sure if I should run for this position. I will be your hype girl. I will tell you that your resume is far more than you are giving yourself credit for. So if you need anything at all throughout this election process, please, please, please reach out.
If you need a push, I will say this, a lot of our lovely members this year are seniors and old like myself. So please know we're all moving on. So we are so excited for you guys to step up and make this org what you want it to be. So, and if you have questions about grad, my little baby, please reach out to me, or Anjali and Pranjali are both here, and they're both literal stars, and we'd love to talk about graduate stuff too, but that's just a shameless graduate plug. Otherwise, we made Is anyone on TikTok? And did you hear it?
The audio didn't come through. Try it again.
No, please work.
You're gonna have to share your audio for that to work.
No, oh my gosh. I thought it was so funny.
Just say it.
Technical difficulties. Oh my god.
It's all surprise, Shody. Have you seen the TikTok? Anyways, whatever. Moving on. The t-shirts are in, yay! And after a nice little look at the budget, they are free. If you are a paid member, we are giving them out to you for free. Happy spring semester. This past year has been so tough. We wanted to just do something fun for you guys. This is holding up an in-person example. We just got them in. They're so cute. You can also see the example on the screen. They are unisex. They are just general t-shirts. Yeah, Liz has them on her video too.
Short, so please keep in mind that they're kind of long and very short.
They're unisex, just standard t-shirts. This is the design on the front, and then we just have the little logo on the nape of the neck, but there's nothing else. So they're not really cluttered. They're really cute. We had one of our lovely members, Maddie, make the design, and she colored it in for us. It's really cute. So we hope you guys like them. On the website, do I sign up for the collegiate 1-year plan of $20? Yes, that's one of the options. Anne Marie, one of the options. Sorry, we had a question in the chat about like signing up for Suite for HQ. Yes, that's one option, is paying for just 1 year and it's $20. The other option is the C2C. That's what Kayla was talking about. It's all your years of school, including your graduate, if you look at a graduate degree, and the first year of your professional membership. So if you're a freshman and you're interested in being in SWE for a while, that's $50. So if that's in the budget, it's definitely the most bang for your buck. But if you're just maybe a senior and looking for the 1 year, that would be your option. But yeah, hopefully that answers your question.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. I was just saying, hopefully that answers the question. But t-shirts, this is the form. Liz sent it in the chat. Fill it out ASAP, Ricky, ASAP pronto, because we do have a limited number of sizing. So we're going to go in order of filling it out. So kind of first come, first serve on the form for sizing. We're going to do our best to honor your requests, but we cannot promise that you're going to get the size that you wanted, because we just did a big order up front instead of kind of pre-ordering. So fill out the form right now, and then we'll kind of go in order of sizing. There's a little bit of a clause in there that if we don't have your size, we're going to ask you if it's okay that we do the next size up. But we will kind of let you know. We're also going to do kind of a pickup starting, I think, next week. We're going to be on campus if that's available to you. If you are not on campus, there's a little bit of an option on the bottom, or you're not able to come pick it up on campus. There's an option on the bottom, and we'll figure out a way to mail it to you. But please only select that if you really can't come to campus, just because we do have limited funds. So on this form, ask for your SWE member ID. Where do you find this? When you log in on the SWE headquarters page, there is like a SWE membership page I can find, or if one of our leadership members wants to find that link on where they log in, you would log in on your SWE headquarters, and then you would click on your profile, and then it's right at the top and it says member ID.
Yes.
That. Oh, Claire, yeah, go ahead.
I was like just struggling with this, like right before the meeting. So you go to SWE.org, and then you click on the little 3 bars on the side, and then under membership, if you like click the little arrow next to it, there's another like tab that just says like membership, and you click on that, and that'll bring you into the portal and a place where you can actually see your SWE ID too, because SWE like HQ kind of like redid their website around the past year, and it's kind of hard for even like our more veteran members to like find where stuff is now. So yeah, Cassidy's got it in the chat there. So SWE.org.
Transparency, I had mine from a sticky note because I couldn't find it on the new portal. So
yeah,
our veteran members are struggling with the new website.
No. We only ask for it because that's how we validate that like you are registered with our section. And I know we're harping on that a lot this year, but our headquarters is kind of cracking down that like they do not register our lovely members if they're not registered through National. So we offer all of our events open to you guys. You don't have to pay to come to our events, but in order for us to function as like a section as registered, like in order for us to be official, we have to follow these rules, and they don't validate things that are not from their registered members. So that's why we're harping it so much with some of these things, is because we don't get funding, we don't get recognition from SWE headquarters if we don't have our members as registered. So we can have 500 members from ASU, which is lovely and great, and we love every single one of you, but if only 20 of you are registered, they view our section as 20 members, so we only need the information or resources for 20 members, which isn't what we're supporting. So that's kind of why we're harping it so much, especially now.
One thing I will add is, for some reason, this is a financial concern. We don't need to discuss it to anyone, just message me and we can try and work something out. So if it is ultimately a financial concern that you are not able to pay your membership dues, please reach out. We'll keep it confidential, but we'll try and figure out if there's that we can something, sponsorship money or something to help.
Yeah. And yes, Claire, thank you so much for putting Maddie's handle in there. She is definitely, we give her a big thanks for her design and coloring.
Yeah, if you've ever met her, she is the sweetest person ever, and I know like she worked hard on these t-shirts, so This is like, these teachers are like her baby. So go show her some love. She deserves it. She works her butt off too. So that is all I have to say.
Thank you. So we hope you like them. Happy whatever. Happy spring semester. I don't know. We just wanted to give you guys some joy, something fun, a cute shirt. Our quick plug, seniors, please fill out this form if you're graduating this semester in the spring, or if you graduated in the fall and you're still around and you didn't get your senior gift, please fill out this form. I'm sorry, I did not put the close date. The close date is in 2 weeks. It's on the 4th. My bad. I will make sure that's inputted on the slides. It closes in 2 weeks. The gift is, as Liz is holding up, some lovely ASU sweet cords for graduation with a little charm. So we want to get this form out and we want to get them to you guys because I know you want them for your pictures, for your graduation picture. So we want to get it out to you. We already have the order in because we're on top of it now. So as soon as you guys get it in there, we'll be able to get your gift to you. So fill out the form, seniors.
They're so pretty. I love them.
They're really pretty.
They're gorgeous. They are.
We will also reserve one for if you want to just check it out for pictures. If for some reason you're not eligible for the senior gift yet, or you have, like you will be eligible, or we run out because we're going to give them out on a first come first serve. We'll reserve one that you can check out for pictures and then kind of return.
Yeah. As always, feedback form. If you have anything, any questions, anything you want to tell us, please put it in there. It's anonymous if you want it to be. There is an option for your name if you'd like to be reached about your comment, but you can also leave it anonymous. That's a great option if you maybe have a question or something and you're not comfortable putting your name on it. Any questions we get that are anonymous questions, we will just answer them and put them in general. So if you ask a question in there, check out the general channel. We'll put the answer there. Finally, we made it to the activity. You guys, I'm so excited. So we're gonna do a sticker competition. I'm gonna put you guys in breakout rooms just randomly with a couple of friends. This is just an opportunity for our artsy people to create some sort of design. These are past designs on the screen that you've probably seen around with our main logo being in the center here, but these are some kind of past designs. Feel free to use your imagination and create anything that you want. You can either work with your group that you're put into or work on your own and just kind of chit chat. It's just an opportunity to kind of relax, draw. And for the fun part, when you are done, please send, as seen here, your design to the email of Internal Relations, or you can DM them to Salma on Slack. And she is going to post them on our Instagram, and the designs with the most number of likes on the Instagram are the ones that we're going to print. And so they're going to be our stickers for the next year. So we're going to give them out as swag. We're going to have them available for members starting in the fall, even sooner if we can get the order put in. So your designs are going to be directly printed based on a vote on the Instagram. So give it your best imagination. Liz sent in a little link to our branding guidelines. It just means if you use colors, try to use like the purples and that kind of thing. We'll make adjustments to your design if it's needed. It just means we can't put like sweet and like bright red. It's not our colors, but you can kind of use your best imagination and then tell your friends to vote on Sweet ASU, because the ones with the top votes, share it on your Instagram, that kind of thing, to get your design to win. And then we'll print it and you'll be able to have it on your laptop or whatever you want. So hopefully that's fun for you guys. I'm gonna sauce you into some breakout rooms. This is the end of the meeting though, so whenever you need to go, you're welcome to. I'm not gonna call you back into the main room at any time. If you have any questions about the elections or anything at all, Liz is going to stay in the main room. So I'm going to put everyone into breakout rooms, but then feel free to just push leave and it'll take you back into the main room and she can answer any of those questions there.
One other thing to note is for the Instagram kind of competition that we're going to be doing, we're going to give y'all a week to submit. So if you have a really good idea, but you want to take some time to work on the design, whatever, make sure that they get to Salma by next week. And then Salma will start to do the competition the next week. We also had a question about if we will have any any meetings in person this year. Sorry about that one. And we are still in the air about whether or not we will have any meetings in person. For all of the meetings that are currently on the calendar, most likely they will be in person, or I'm sorry, remote, just given there's a lot of obstacles that come with hosting an event in person, but we are trying to do a few celebrations or end of the year ceremonies in person, but we cannot promise anything as the circumstances with COVID are constantly changing. But for our members that meet the requirements for the resume bank, we do host an annual banquet at the end of the year, and I'm trying to figure out some way for at least part of that to be in person, but just kind of keep an eye on Slack, keep an eye on the newsletters. But at this time, everything is remote with us working towards trying to find something that can be in person.
Any other questions before we get to step in? I'm not very artsy, so I'm really relying on you guys to make some cute designs, because this is not my forte, but some of you are absolutely incredible. You've shared some of your art at other meetings, and I could never.
Also, if you are artsy, you can chill back in the main room with me. We can chat. Tell me how life is going. If you don't feel like drawing and you feel like venting, I'll listen. So I'll be chilling in the main room.
Okay. Otherwise, I will see you guys later, Gator. Come back to the main room if you need help or you need something. Goodbye. Sorry, there you go. We're doing it. Am I doing this? Am I doing this effectively? Do I know how to do this? I think so.
I got an invite for Breakout Rooms, so I think you're
It's
doing
just us in here because I'm not artsy, so I didn't join one.
perfect. Hey,
We're roommates, by the way, me and Amanda.
that's so exciting.
That's,
Wait, hold on.
Oh, she's coming. She's coming into my room. Me and Liz are roommates.
Oh, really?
We have our. Oh, here she is. Here she is. We can stop the recording. Oh yeah.
That's fun.
So sorry.